what Christmas is. At the human level, why do we celebrate it so widely? Well, I must give you a little history for that, because it is an extraordinary story. In the northern hemisphere, the northern half of the world, fertility cults, which were the pagan religions before Christianity came, the pagan religions were fertility cults based on the idea of fertility and reproduction, which of course is right at the heart of our natural life and vital to our life, the world of nature. And in the northern hemisphere of Europe, there was an annual festival on December the 25th, long before Christ came. And it was held on December the 25th to celebrate the rebirth of the sun, on which our whole life depended, and our crops and everything else depended. And the shortest day, the day of the sun's death, if you like, was on December the 21st. And gradually the sun had been giving less and less light and less light until December 21st. And so they waited just a few days to make sure the sun had been reborn. And then they celebrated the rebirth of the sun. And the Roman world called the sun god Mithras. So December 25th is the birthday of Mithras, the sun god. And boy, did they celebrate it. They celebrated with overeating, over-drinking, and over-sexing. It was a very indulgent festival. Does this strike any familiar note with you? And they had songs, carols, to celebrate the sun being born again. And they had bonfires, and they would cut down a big tree and burn this big tree, and they called it the Yule log when they burned it. And they would celebrate it with evergreen trees, because they thought the deciduous trees, which renew their leaves, are coming back with the sun, so we'll take an evergreen tree and celebrate the birthday of the sun with a tree. Did you know that's where the Christmas tree came from? Most of what we do at Christmas goes back to the fertility cult and the pagan religion pre-Christian, and we think it's Christian. One other thing which I hesitate to mention is that the celebration lasted 12 days. Have you heard a song called "On the 12 Days of Christmas, My True Love Said to Me"? Why my true love? Because every village, every community elected one man to be Lord of the festival. And for 12 days, he had the doubtful privilege of being able to sleep with any girl or woman in that community. So for 12 days, he celebrated, called the Lord of the feast. Now, all that is thoroughly pagan, and it was practiced all over Northern Europe long before Christ was born. When a pope, a Roman Catholic pope, sent the first missionary to England, he landed in a town called Canterbury, and he began to convert the people of the county of Kent, which was then the Kingdom of Kent. He even managed to convert the king and baptized him. But when he reported back to the Pope, he said, "Sadly, I have not been able to take from the British people their midwinter festival." And he said it's a terrible pagan fertility cult. And they're so fond of it, I can't get them to drop it. And so the Pope said something which has been Roman Catholic missionary policy ever since. Well, don't try and stop them doing it. Baptize it into Christ. Bring it in. If you can't lick them, join them. That was his policy. And so all that came into the Christian faith in England as the result of the Pope and became Christ Mass. Because on